Hello and welcome to Python Programming EET 107. I am your instructor, Matt Geiger, and I am going to take you on a little tour of the course so that you know what's going on. This is the thing we would usually do in an in-person class on the first night. I just want to give you a little tour to make sure that you are aware of where all the things are that you need to know and how to find the resources that you need. So we're going to start by looking in Sakai. I've clicked on the course EET 107 for this semester. Let's start out by going to Syllabus. And click on the syllabus. This is an 8-week remote class that we are doing right now. And here is the syllabus for that class, EET 107. So our learning objectives, we're going to learn how to describe basic programming concepts. We're going to process user input. We're going to name variables properly and store program data in those variables. We're going to look at arithmetic operators and using them to solve programming problems. We're going to learn how to make functions to improve the maintainability of our program code. We're going to apply and troubleshoot decision operators as necessary to create functional programs, employ loops into functional programming to make things repeat. We're going to learn how to manipulate string data. We're going to create and process data that's organized in a list. And we will construct basic objects using class definitions. This is an introductory programming course. You do not need any prior knowledge other than basic computer skills in order to take this course. Our learning objectives are to gain understanding of structured programming concepts. A lot of the concepts we're going to discuss in this course will apply to other programming languages as well. We're going to show off our software skills, and we're going to write a lot of programs. Grading for this course, you will be doing lab assignments for each unit. There's 2 lab assignments. Those lab assignments will be 40% of your grade for this course. They're not usually really large assignments. They can be small. Some of them are larger than others. So don't wait till the last minute to do your lab assignments. There will also be quizzes. Every couple chapters, we will have a quiz over the previous chapters. Those quizzes will count as 20% of your grade. And then the test, there will be a midterm test and a final test. Those tests will be troubleshooting. I'll give you some code similar to things that we've already done in the class, but it will have some errors in it, and you'll have to troubleshoot those, fix the code, find the errors, and then resubmit it. Class participation is also going to be 10% of your course. Okay, so as I said, this is a remote course. All the reading, the lectures, and the demonstrations are done outside of the classroom. That makes this course a little bit hard. Normally, we like to have at least a lab session with students that are doing it partially remote, but this one is 100% remote. So it is vital that you do all of the reading, listen to all the videos, those are the lectures, all those demonstrations that I do by video. It's really important that you do those. You really need to do the reading and watch the videos prior to attempting the labs. It becomes painfully obvious when somebody asks questions while they're trying to do the lab. If they haven't watched the videos, it makes a huge difference. You'll be asking questions about things that if you had actually watched the videos, you wouldn't be asking questions about. All of your assistance for this course will be via electronic resources, meaning we won't be meeting at the college at all. Before you ask others for help, make sure you've read the materials. And the first place you're going to seek help if you need assistance is the Sakai discussion threads. And I'll show you those in a second. And if the Sakai discussion threads are a place for you to ask questions, and they're also a place for you to answer questions of your classmates. That's the part that makes this course a little bit harder when you do it online, is you do not get interaction with your classmates and your instructor. So we're going to try and simulate that classroom environment by using discussion threads. If you get stuck on a problem, you're going to post it in the discussion thread, and other people are going to try and help you through it. That helps you learn, but it also helps the person who's helping you learn. So don't be afraid or embarrassed to ask questions. As a matter of fact, part of the class participation grade is this idea that you participate in those discussions and that you communicate with the instructor. So be sure you're participating in those on a weekly basis. Updating. If you finish the assignment, hey, I finished this without a problem. Somebody might have a question to ask you. One thing I do want you to be careful of is the discussion threads. Don't post your code there. Don't post exact code. Don't share your code with other people in the class. Guide them, teach them the concepts, maybe help them if they have a line or two that needs help, but I can't tolerate cheating, so you can't post code and let somebody just copy your code. Okay. So feedback is a two-way street. You can comment on and ask for clarification. This is the feedback that I give you after you submit a lab. I will give you feedback through a feedback thread, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And that's a two-way street. You can ask me questions about why you got the grade you got, if you have a problem. That is how I will help you if the discussion forums and your classmates are not able to help you. So after you've worked with your peers, if you still have help, you contact me through my email address. But you have to have pushed your code to your assignment repo, and you'll see what that is in the first videos. Once you've pushed your code, you contact me. I will look at your code, and I will give you some feedback in the feedback item of your repository where your code is kept. And then we can go back and forth and answer those questions. If it gets to the point where, written communication just isn't working out, and if we need to, I'll set up an online meeting and we can do a Zoom. Okay. Labs are due, it says 11:59. Technically it's 11:55 because that's how Sakai does it. It's 5-minute blocks of the due date. So almost midnight on the due date, you have to have an assignment done. If you turn it in at 11:59 and 30 seconds, it will still accept it for the labs. So don't get hung up on that. Have them in by midnight the day that they're due. But the due date in Sakai will say 11:55. For the labs, one section, that means out of the chapters we're doing, if you end up with a late assignment, there's no penalty. I'll let you do that one time. Things happen. If there's any additional late assignments outside of the one chapter, the first time it's forgiveness, get it in. After that, if you're turning in late assignments, it's a 50% grade reduction. If you submit something late, if you don't get it in on time, you have to tell me. You have to send me an email saying, hey, I submitted this late. If you don't do that, I won't know to go get it and grade it, because I won't. Once those repos are submitted, I download them. If you submit it late, I'm not going to keep going back every week to see. So you have to let me know, hey, I turned in this assignment late, and I will go grade it. Like I said, the first time it's forgiveness. After that, it's a 50% reduction. If your lab work is over a week late, I don't accept it. So you have to have it in within a week of it when it's due. This is an 8-week course. So we're going to be jumping. It's fast. That's a fast period to do all the work that it takes to complete an entire college course. So a week late is really late. Actually, for this course, I probably should have made it 3 or 4 days, because a week late is the usual penalty for a normal 16-week course. But I'm going to keep it at a week. Hopefully you just don't have any late labs. There's also quizzes that you will take through Sakai. They're going to be multiple choice. They cover all the information in the textbook as well as the videos. So you need to read the text as well as watching the videos. I try to do a lot of the examples out of the text in the videos, but I can't promise you that I cover every little detail that's in the book. So reading and studying the text prior to take the quizzes is the best way to prepare for them. They're given online. You have to have them done by the due date. The quizzes are timed. You normally have about a minute for each question. You can use whatever references you want when you take a quiz. You can use your textbook as a reference. You can use any notes you've taken. You can go back and review videos, but remember, you don't have a whole lot of time. So it's important that you know the information. One thing to know about quizzes is I do not take them late. If you miss a quiz, it's a 0. However, I will be dropping your lowest quiz score from the semester. So if you somehow forget to do a quiz and that's a 0, that's the one that will get dropped, and it won't really hurt you too much. But honestly, you're better off if you take all the quizzes and get as good grades as you can. And maybe you have one that you just don't do so well on, and that one will be dropped rather than just not doing it and dropping the 0. Okay. There'll be a couple hands-on tests through the semester. They'll be very similar to the lab assignments we've completed. I will activate those the day they are due. You'll have time to do them and submit them. You cannot ask others for assistance on that, or we're using the honor system because this is an online class. But you will only have that day at some point to log in. The tests are going to work just like the quizzes, as far as you're going to download a repo. You're going to do some work with the code, and you're going to resubmit it to me. And you'll see how that works in some upcoming videos. Okay, so they'll work just like a test, except you don't get the link until the day of the test. One's going to be at midterm time. Probably will try to do that. I think I have to go back and look at the calendar. I don't want to do it on a Saturday. It'll probably be a Wednesday, because I made most of our items due on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Okay. Participation. For online course, participation is doing the lab assignments, quizzes, and tests in a timely manner. So that's participation, getting your things in time. Communicating with me if there's any issues is very important. That includes reading your email. If I send you an email, I expect you to know about it. You should be checking your email at least once a day. And the other part is participating in the discussion threads for each unit. Make sure you contribute something or ask questions in each of the discussion threads for each chapter that we're covering. There is a thread set up for each chapter, and I expect everybody to participate. Try to help each other out in there. Even if it's just making a remark that, hey, everybody got this one done. It was pretty easy. Just say, yeah, I thought it was pretty easy too. That in the early chapters, it's going to be really easy. Later on, it might be a little bit more difficult, and you might need to use those discussion threads to talk to each other and help each other. Okay. So the tests and labs in the semester will require you to demonstrate the skills that you have acquired during the class. So the time needed for classwork for a 16-week course, and you're doing it double speed because it's only going to be 8-week course. The average successful student will schedule 4 to 8 hours per week for reading and studying the material. That's the videos and reading the book. And you'll schedule 6 to 12-hour weeks to work on labs and tests. Okay. So since this is an 8-week course, you can kind of double that. There's a lot of work to do for this class. If you decide you want to withdraw, you can check out the dates on the website, NSCC homepage, northweststate.edu, and it will tell you the policies for withdrawing at any point. There's an early date that you can draw, I think, for 100%, and the longer you wait, the less money you get back from your tuition. All right, ADA information's in here. Videotaping. I've videotaped everything, so I guess no unauthorized video or audio taping of the classroom lecture. I've already done it for you. All right, academic honesty policy. It becomes really obvious to me when people are cheating. If you're turning in the exact same code with the exact same typos as somebody else, you're cheating. So that won't be accepted. Sometimes people get away with it, but eventually you usually get caught, especially in programming. It only takes one person doing the exact same thing wrong as somebody else to kind of tip us off that you might not be doing your own work. All right, so you can read through the rest of the syllabus. I just covered the highlights there. There is a syllabus quiz that is due, I think at the end of the first week, end of this week. So you can look at the due date for that. Make sure you do the syllabus quiz. That's your first syllabus grade, first quiz grade. And for that quiz grade, you can take it as many times as you want. And since it's going to be averaged with your other quiz grades, take it till you get 100%. Can't hurt to start out the class with an A+. All right, the next thing you probably want to see is the Start Here tab, and I'm going to do that in a separate video. I'll do that in the next video.